video is sponsored by Don't Look at the Demon, and don't forget to catch it in cinemas October 7th in the US.
We moved in here around 6 months ago. Some pretty weird stuff started happening. We heard the skeleton crew was coming over to Asia, and we desperately need your help.
This is it. It's a nice place. Where's the welcome wagon?
This is my cameraman, Wolf, and Ben, cameraman, are the real geniuses behind the skeleton crew.
If something turns up, we'll get it on tape. Did you touch him?
No.
Go. To the right.
We've done haunted houses before, possessions, exorcisms, you name it. This is the first time in the history of the show that we've ever come close to actually proving the existence of the paranormal.
Ben? Oh, shit. You scared the hell out of me, man. You okay? He's having a seizure!
It's a man in my dream!
Remember last night? We had so much fun.
Hey guys, my name is Gwen, and today we're going to be talking about Stranger Things. Heck yeah! Season 4 is burning up and taking the internet by storm with so many hot takes and memes galore. My favorite is Chrissy, wake up!
Hey, hello? Time to wake up, can you hear me? Wake up, Chrissy! I don't like this, Chrissy, wake up!
Anyways, today we're going to be talking about Vecna, of course. Such a breakout character of the season and a fan favorite from DnD, Dungeons and Dragons, if you didn't know. So who is Vecna? Did you know that he is an ancient god? And what else about him can I tell you? Well, let's just jump right into it and let's go. In Stranger Things Season 4, Vecna goes by a few different names. So in his human form, we know him as Henry Creel, or 001, or just 1. And when 11 blasts him into the Upside Down, Henry kind of transforms into what we know as Vecna. So Vecna possesses the psychic abilities that Henry Creel once possessed, can reach into the minds of others, and is also telekinetic. When connected to his tendrils and vines in the Upside Down, Vecna is able to see into the minds of people living in Hawkins. His victims so far are teenagers with vulnerable minds. His choice of victims appear to be random, but it is likely that they are chosen primarily due to one trait shared among all of them: a dark side of themselves that they want to conceal. We see it with Chrissy and her bulimia, Fred and that car accident, Patrick and his alcoholism, and of course Max with her heavy guilt over the death of her brother Billy. And this is something that Vecna despises about humans. He feels like they should be empowered by, I guess, these traits of theirs, but instead it's their weakness that he can feed on. So maybe he does like it after all. I don't know about you guys, but this season definitely scared me so much more than previous seasons. It went from like a level 2 to like a level 8, and I was like, ooh, this is actually scary. I wasn't prepared for like blood coming out of people's eyes and like bones cracking. Oof. So with Henry's telepathic abilities, Vecna is able to see into the minds of others and use it to dig up like personal and private information. And that's how he uses it, like mostly with his victims. So to me, it seems that Henry has recently learned to connect himself to the Mind Flayer, which seems to enhance his abilities and even reach across space and time to Hawkins, despite him being in an entirely different dimension. Though Vecna is not able to influence the actions or the behaviors of his victims, he's able to tweak and mess with their perception, causing them to hallucinate. And this is all pretty scary to watch once he has a hold of them, because this is like when their eyes glaze over and, you know, rolls back to the back of their heads, and I guess mentally for the victims, they are seeing, you know, this dark side of themselves that they're trying to hide away. So whether it's their biggest fear or guilt that they have, that is playing through their minds, and people around them are basically acting out their biggest fears. So that's really terrifying. Vecna can also inflict minor forms of physical injuries to his victims, and we see this in all 4 victims. They get nosebleeds or headaches, but we don't really know whether it's just a side effect of Vecna linking his mind with theirs, because I can only imagine that, you know, that really takes a lot of psychic energy, and that just doesn't work within like a normal human body. But also we can consider that maybe inflicting this pain is like his first step into breaking this individual, because obviously he requires a more vulnerable individual to, like, you know, possess. So perhaps this is his first step. So if you're seeing Vecna in your mind, and I hope you're not, knocking on wood for you. So the first thing you want to do is grab your earphones, headphones, earbuds, boombox, whatever it is you listen to music on, and blast your favorite music. It appears that the sound waves that are created by rhythmic frequencies of musical sources can reach sensitive centers of the human brain that basic vocabulary can't. So blasting music instead of talking definitely helps. But honestly, I just think it's the power of your favorite song. You know, your favorite song and favorite music, coupled with like all the great memories that you have attached to that song, really like strengthens your will to live, and that's what really pulls you back and anchors you to reality. Number 2, this one is a little bit difficult to obtain, but if you for some reason obtain the soteria, which is a scientific device that Dr. Brenner uses to neutralize one's psychic abilities, then you are completely safe from Vecna. And the third and final weakness, what's better than 10? 11! So let's call this willpower. If you were a psychic who was basically stronger and had more emotional pull to the real world that could overpower Vecna, then obviously you beat him. But yeah, I mean, not everyone's 11. Vecna exists? Vecna is an ancient god? Kind of. I kind of clickbaited you a little bit. Vecna is an ancient god, but in DnD, in Dungeons and Dragons. So if you're a fan of D&D or if you play D&D, then you maybe already know this. If you don't, let me tell you a little bit about it. So Vecna was a once human king from Earth that ascended to godhood. While he was once considered the most powerful lich to dwell in that world, over the ages, Vecna became maligned across the multiverse and was considered the scourge of all civilization. Vecna's early life is clouded in legend and contradiction. Most accounts stated that he was originally a human wizard from Earth, although some reports have claimed that he was half-elf. After having become an extremely powerful wizard, Vecna feared for his own mortality, and some say that this was caused by the death of his mother. In one of his most earliest battles, Vecna was almost completely destroyed by clerics of the Earthian god Paler, but he was spared annihilation by one of his most trusted lieutenants and former apprentice, the half-demon Acererak. In truth, Acererak arranged for Vecna to be ambushed in order to gain favor with his master and position himself closer to Vecna's most treasured secrets. After Vecna became aware of Acererak's treachery, he vowed to never let his esoteric knowledge be compromised again. Vecna's zeal for secrecy and ever-growing power led him to be worshipped as somewhat of a god, even before any form of ascension. However, Vecna's evil actually manifested into the sword, and the sword seduced Cass into usurping and killing his master. According to one storyteller, Vecna had accumulated enough collective power and magic to achieve apotheosis by the means of a ritual in his rotted tower. But Cass interrupted that ritual and attacked his master. The two engaged in tremendous battle, and in the end, Vecna gained the upper hand. But just as the Lich moved to slay his former servant, casts cut off his hand and plunged his sword deep into Vecna's left eye. Finally, a massive explosion destroyed the tower and shook the surrounding lands. Sometime later, Vecna once again attempted to ascend to status of greater deity via organizing a centuries-long plot culminating in him absorbing the essence of demigod Luz and also invading Sigil, from where he could exert control over the entire multiverse. Vecna invaded the City of Doors, becoming the only deity in existence that successfully breached Sigil's defenses, and caused a great disturbance in the multiverse, but was once again thwarted by adventurers and expelled from Sigil with assistance from the Lady of Pain. The Lady of Pain, she sounds badass. I love her already. Vecna had his essence separated from Luz, but managed to retain the power of a lesser deity. Following Vecna's defeat, the Lady of Pain strengthened Sigil's defenses and reorganized the planar structure in order to repair damages that this caused and also to prevent this from happening ever again. At some point in his existence, Vecna actually stole one of the original black obelisks that was created by the enigmatic group, the Reavers. He used this powerful artifact to travel to essentially remove all traces of the Reavers from known history and stole all knowledge regarding the obelisk's creation. By some means, that information came into the hands of the Arcanists of Ancient Netheril. Whew! That was a lot of information about D&D, Dungeons & Dragons, and Vecna. So I guess to wrap this all up, what would you do if you were Vecna? Or if you were possessed by Vecna, what would be the song that would bring you back down to Earth? For me, it will definitely have to be the Chrissy Wake Up!
I don't like this, Chrissy, wake up!
And with that, we're at the end of our video for today. Let me know any other topics you want us to cover and give this video a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it, because I sure did presenting it to you. Till next time, bye! I was waiting to do that the whole video. Oh my god. I did not plan that.